Hello horse friends and welcome back to the imperfect question. You're not imagining things. JJ has got a saddle on. We are going out for a ride.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you.
So it's not that I'm feeling particularly brave today. It's more that I need to help JJ out. As you can see, she's got quite a big belly at the moment. They're actually on some grazing that's been lent to us at the moment, so there's quite a lot. It's long old grass, but it's still quite a bit more grass than she should be having. I can't really restrict her grazing too much because Comanche does need the grass. He's an old man, he tends to drop weight over the winter, so I like him to keep a little bit on him. I've tried some grazing muzzles with her, but she just breaks them or gets them off, so not much help there. I can't really exercise very easily on our land at the moment because it's quite muddy and all the grass areas that I can put her on just start churning up again. So all I can really do to help it is put my brave pants on and get out there and take her for a ride. So hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit of fast work in today, a little bit of trot, and start burning some of those calories. To be fair, it'll help me burn some as well. So in that way, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm feeling a little bit nervous. So come join me and keep me company and help me feel brave. So I can hear a car coming, so we're just going to wait a minute. Good girl. Lots of strokes. See if she'll stay still. Good girl. Might even turn before it gets here because there's a crossroads. Yeah, I think I can hear it slowing down. So it's probably turn. Walk on. Walk on. Oh. Walk on. Walk on. Good girl. Check the way, check that way. And off we go. Walk on. Good girl. Nice day actually. It's a Sunday, so I'm hoping the roads will stay nice and quiet. So it's just one less thing for me to worry about. Even though she's good with traffic, it's just mentally quite difficult for me. Good girl. And especially whilst I'm in this nervous spell. No one round, so I don't really need signal. Good girl. Heading towards where the cake stand is. Oop. Great, crow scarers. That's all we need. Okay, good girl. So apart from when I've been in the group, I've never actually got on from home and just gone. Usually I walk her out first as well, so being extra brave today. Hopefully it's warranted. She's going to stop a bit more because she is less confident when I'm on her back, so I usually just wait and then ask her again, and there's not usually a problem in going forward after that. But because I've not ridden it out for a while, the two things I'm probably thinking to expect today is to be what you would call nappy a bit, but only as far as in like this, where she gets a bit nervous and stops. We give her a second and then ask her on again. So it's nothing too severe. Just got to be careful not to push her past any boundaries. There's actually quite a bit of traffic on the main road behind us now. And the other thing that we might get, because I'm not on the ground to comfort her, is she may be slightly spooky. But she's never really had any really huge spooks. I have got my air jacket on and have remembered to connect it today, so good girl. So I don't like to just push her past points like this, and if we need to back up, we need to back up, that's fine. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. Because I feel with her being quite right-brained, if I do kind of just constantly push her through when she hits thresholds, then that's when I'll really be hitting some problems with her mentally. So you can expect that if I ignored when she stopped and didn't give her a chance to have an opinion about the situation and to stop if she wanted to, then what could happen is that she would feel I'm pushing her through and not respecting how she feels, and she'll just get into more and more of a panic about it, and that could result in things like rearing or bolting. Good girl. Walk on. So obviously the more regular we do this, the less we get these little stops, but as I said, it's really been quite a while, and especially for riding down this lane. I can't actually really remember when we last came down this lane. And obviously, same as any horse, the moment we turn round, we will get less of these stops. It's more because we're travelling away from the situation, or from home, not a situation. Good girl. Do have my little safety handles to make me feel braver. Not that they help, but there's a loop on the saddle pad. Got my Ferroflex saddle pad on, which has shims in, so that's got a loop from side to side. I can grab if I feel I need to. Just help balance myself without yanking on her face too much if she did spook. Now normally there's some cows in the fields next to us, but I think because it's winter they've probably gone away. Just trying to keep my eyes open for cars behind. Keep thinking I'm hearing some, but walk on. She's stopping because I turned my body then and she wasn't sure what the feeling was. So I'd rather she did that if I become unbalanced, so good for her. So in myself, I'm feeling quite tense. She's just blown out, so she was feeling a little bit tense too. Hopefully I'll start yawning in a bit as well. Yeah, she's starting to relax, and you can see that we've got a little bit more of a free-flowing walk forward now. Not quite as many stops, so she's definitely relaxing a little bit. She'll probably start looking for food soon, because she'll do that when she's feeling quite settled. I don't mind her eating with a bit in. I'm quite happy to make her feel happy in places. I do feel a little bit while she's eating, though, sometimes she'll zone out. So I do have to be a little bit careful, because she's not necessarily paying attention to things going on around her, and things can surprise her a little bit at that point. So it's not necessarily a complete safety zone letting her eat. Good girl. The more she consistently walks forward, the little bit more relaxed I'm feeling. Now we do have a car coming up, so I'm just going to pull in a little bit fast. Luckily we were by a bit of lay-by. Oh, and JJ's very forward moving. Thank you. So JJ was a little bit more forward moving than she normally would be. I'll just reward her for stopping. Good girl. Get a little bit of food if you want. Good girl. Well done, JJ. Munchy time. Okay, let's head off again. Good girl. Good girl. Ah, there appears to be either a cat or a dog on the road ahead. It's quite big. Maybe it's the Black Panther. No, I think it's a cat actually. Oh no, it's with someone, it's a dog. So we'll see how that goes. Ah, there's a car coming as well, so maybe we are best to pull over into the lay-by and wait here for a little bit as well. Now we can hear Comanche neighing back home. Wonder if that'll make her want to go home. A little bit it does. Turn around, face the car a bit, so she knows it's coming. Good girl. It is slowing down for us, that's nice of it. Good girl. Thank you. See, very good with well-behaved vehicles. However, now not wanting to walk forward, so walk on. Walk on. Good girl, walk on. She can obviously the person and the black dog ahead. Presuming it's a dog still. Could be a cat out for a walk with its owner, who knows. So I have talked a little bit before. Walk on. Good girl, walk on. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. So she just needs to get a bit more opinion about what's ahead, I think. Looking around at other things. If she gets too nappy, I will get off and walk her past it. Walk on. There we are. Good girl. So I have talked to her before a little bit about how JJ feels about dogs, but I'll explain more. So, as I've said before several times, she was actually born in a nature reserve in Holland, and as far as I know, it's in the north of Holland. So as far as I know, there is actually wolves in the nature reserve there. So obviously she'll have a natural instinct for being worried about dogs. And then we had her over here, and she actually seemed really good with the dogs, our dogs and farm dogs that were at the first place she was at, and another place she went to after. She was good with all the dogs there. And then we had an incident where a nearby farmer who had kennelled, who had kennelled sheepdogs, they got out and they were just running rampant around, and they'd actually got into the field where she was, and they were biting her legs and hanging off her tail, and obviously she didn't like that at all. So I was worried that that would sway her opinion back into the wrong direction for dogs again. But you know, she does seem to be okay with our dogs at home still. Good girl. But I always worry a little bit as I'm passing people's dogs. I feel she could swing either way, really. She could be good, or she could get panicked if she gets reminded of either the wolves or those sheepdogs that attacked her. But usually, so far, she's been very good going past people's dogs. But I don't like to get too close in case she takes a bit of a nasty shine to them. So, walk on. The person ahead has actually turned round to go back the other way, so that solves that little bit of a problem for us anyway. Walk on. Walk on. Good girl. So she's about to walk into a ditch. Walk on. So now I do feel she needs a bit more leadership. Good girl. So I'm a little bit more assertive. There we are. And now we've got a bit more of a free flow walk forward. Walk on. Walk on. Another car ahead. So we're going to pull over into this next lay-by. Out of the way. Now I don't tend to automatically trot out of the way when we see cars, because I did do that for a little bit, and she started associating seeing a car with trotting, which I didn't think was a good thing. So now I'm quite stubborn, and I'll only walk out of the way if I'm already walking. If I was trotting, that'd be different. Good girl. Good girl. See how she is? She's not too bothered when they go past. Thank you. Good girl. And we carry on. Walk on. So we do get this a little bit every time she gets to stop for a snack. She's not too happy to walk on again. She'd rather be staying for a snack. And as you can see, I just lead her head side to side, squeeze to go forward, and if she doesn't react to that, we have a little tap on the shoulder. So that's how I'm reacting to get her forward, rather than kicking her hard or anything like that. So just pulling side to side to get her motion moving. Walk on. She's been a little bit backwards. Tiny tap. Good girl. That's it. So what I do struggle with, which you can't really see because you're looking forwards, is when I'm feeling tight, I tend to keep my leg on a bit too much. So thank God she's not a super sensitive horse where you do need to remove your leg, else she'd be galloping. I have known horses like that before, because the tension in my legs would be making her shoot forward now. So she's more dull because I'm on a little bit all the time, more than I should be, but she has to learn to cope with that and understand the difference. There we are. I've also probably got my arms, you can't see either really, but a little bit too straight, because again the tension just makes me like hold them out in front. I'm not relaxed at the elbow, it's all very stiff. Walk on. So the idea of us coming out to try and get a little bit of faster work in, but until I can get her moving forward a bit freely, I don't think we can really trot properly yet, because what I'm risking is her stopping suddenly or spooking more. So I'll see how it goes. If she starts moving more freely, we might try, but if not, I might have to wait till we turn round. But on the same note, I don't want to teach her too much that coming home we go faster. So it's going to be a balance, but I do want her to work out a bit more than if I was just walking on the floor with her. Good girl. Just past the cake, please. Yummy cakes. Stopping. Good girl. Now, I don't know what she's reacting to, but I don't need to know what she's reacting to. If I say it's safe to move forward, it's safe to move forward. Obviously, I keep my eye open just to try and see if I can see, but that's just how it is. I don't think there's any tigers about to jump out on us at the moment. She had another little blowout then, so obviously there was some tension. More of a sigh, I think, than a proper blowout. Good girl. Just keep reassuring her she's a good girl. Much more free moving forward now with her walk. Now we see the person ahead now, but they're right on the horizon of the road. So yeah, they must be heading back to wherever they live. And I should bear that in mind if I want to trot as well, because obviously they turned around because they didn't want to be bothered with their dog being near a horse, and there may be a reason for that, I don't know. Or it may just be that they can't be bothered in case it scared the horse, or maybe their dog actually doesn't like horses. So if I do decide to trot, I don't want to catch up with them too much, in case there was a reason. Straight lanes are a little bit boring to look at, aren't they? I don't know if you can see any of the surrounding fields from there. Probably not, you're quite low to the hedge. Have you on the chest mount riding with me, because she's so short necked, you can see her ears a little bit better. If I have it too high up near the hat, we lose a lot of her head, or it looks too much on top of her. Not like you're riding with me. Thank you for keeping me company today. You're helping me be really brave. The wind picks up over this area here, so I don't know, could create some smells or sounds to make her a bit more spooky. She's certainly walking a bit faster now. Good girl. She's just noticed someone at this house. Walk on. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. Give her a moment. Good girl. Hi, you alright? Walk on. Good girl. She's not sure. She wants to wait a little bit longer. She looks alert and she's quite tense. So just give her some strokes. Good girl. Good girl. See if she'll go again. Walk on. Walk. There we are. Now, if she hadn't walked forward there, what I would do is either back up a bit or turn around in a circle, or I could even go back the way we came a little bit and then try again. So it's important not to just consistently push her through. And I didn't actually use a lot of pressure there. I just kept repeating the question. Can you go forward? Until she said, yes, I can. So this piece of road down to, there's some driveways that pull in down here, but there's not too many lay-bys on this bit, so this bit can be a little bit awkward if we do get traffic. There is a bit of a wider verge, but again there is a bit of a ditch with the verge, so we have to be careful. So did you see my Your Horse Live video? Did anybody else go to Your Horse Live, or would you like to go to Your Horse Live? Had a good time looking around, especially like to see the horses there. It's definitely changed over the years. I used to go when it was the equine event, and that was really good. Good. Stopped again. We've come to an open piece, so again some more smells and wind and sound going on. Good girl. Walk on. Walk on. Walk on. Good girl. Just pulling side to side so if we get some movement. And off we go. Good girl. Good girl. There we are. Yes, when it used to be the equine event before it was Your Horse Live, they used to do a breed village. So that's where I met my first fjord horse, in the flesh, as they say, was at the equine event. And they also happened to have an Appaloosa next to it. So that was the first Appaloosa I met properly. And that's actually when I decided to get an Appaloosa. I did really want a fjord, but the Appaloosa people were really nice, and they let me join their youth club, and they lent me horses for summer camp and things like that. So once I was in with the Appaloosa people, that's when I decided to get an Appaloosa. And obviously I've still got my fjord later on in life, but it wasn't the right time then really. I had the support of a youth group whilst I was a teenager with the Appaloosa. Good girl. Unfortunately, when it took over to Your Horse Live, they stopped doing the breed village because that was hugely interesting. They'd have all the native breeds and then some more unusual ones like the fjord and the Appaloosa, but also Morgans and Icelandics and things like that as well. And you know, they were really interesting to see. So I've missed that, but they do the rescue village now. So people can actually adopt a horse on site. Obviously you can't take it away that day, but you could reserve that you were very interested in that horse, and then they'll come and check out your property. She's obviously seeing if we have any other horses in the area. Good girl. Now as a rider, that makes me feel quite tense, because her head's up, she's feeling tense, she's calling out for friends. So I don't think she will, but that makes me feel like she could trot off any minute now. But yeah, she never has done, and I don't think she will. But it's just in my instincts, I'm like, oh no. Good girl. Walk on. Again, I need to try and not let that go down the reins or through my legs and give her too much of a feeling that way. There were sheep in the fields next to us a few weeks ago when we walked this on the ground. They seem to have gone. All the animals seem to be pretty much gone. Oh, there's a few sheep in the field far away. But yeah, I think most people are moving them for the winter to where they need to be for the winter now. So I'm hoping to get to the bottom of this hill here, and where there's some driveways. Walk on. Good girl. And then what I'll do is let her have a little graze if she's calm enough. If she's not, we'll just turn around, and then we'll head back and hopefully trot up this hill, because the hill will put some good value. We've had a nice long warm up now by coming out this far. I say this far, it's not a massive long ride. I think I measured it on the map, and it's about 2.2 miles or 2.4, something like that. So it's long enough for me at the minute whilst I'm feeling nervous. Good girl. So lots of challenges here. The wind turbine here, we can really hear that quite a lot now, and there's a lot of breeze coming through from the left hand side, and we're coming up on a field of sheep. So a few mental challenges, and to be fair, they're mostly on the left hand side. The sheep are starting to move away because we're coming up as well, so the movement of so many sheep might be slightly alarming to her, because obviously when she's grazing, the sheep aren't necessarily doing much, they're just eating as well. But now because she's moving, it's making them a bit more curious, and they may just dart off. Hopefully they'll go away. But I see a top in with them as well. Here we are. Sheepies, yeah. Good girl. Let her have a look. Good girl. Hey, sheepies. So we're going to go see if she'll graze on one of the banks somewhere. Let her have a good look at the sheep. Thankfully they're not just starting off and running away. She is a little bit alarmed by so many sheep, as you can see, but she's coping, she's fine. Let's go graze over here for a minute then. Whee! So I don't want her bum to be too much to the sheep in case there's any quick movement. She might be too startled. I'm going to hold my handle in case she does dart away anywhere. But just give her a few mouthfuls for being so good, for coming out this far. A bit of a reward, worthwhile to come out the trip. Good girl. Oh, big grass field. There we go. Right, well, she's got her head up and moving, so might as well use that motion and keep going. I just wait till we get a little bit further away from the sheep, because I don't want to build up an association of that we saw sheep and now we're running. So I'll just wait till we get a little bit more up the hill. Okay, I think when we get to that next lay-by, we'll trot to the sign. It doesn't seem very far, I know, but we need to start somewhere. And don't forget, she's so unfit and hasn't really been doing any trotting for months and months and months now. Okay, we're not quite there, but she feels nice and forward, so I'm just going to shorten my reins and ask her. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Got my little handle just in case. And of course, when they've not been ridden for a while, sometimes moving at a faster pace with the saddle, she says uphill is quite a struggle, and girth can be make them want to buck and things, because it feels a bit different and they've forgotten the feeling of it. So I think she's realised it's quite tiring. But let's try again. Good girl. Don't want to push her too much. Oh, there's a big cargo. Get up out of the way. I think they'll wait at the lay-by for us nicely. Try and trot past them. So at least this way we're trotting towards the vehicle. So we're not necessarily associating going away from vehicles trotting. Good girl. She's getting tired. She wants to stop a little bit. But we're going to try and just get there. Good girl. Oh, nearly. Good girl. One last go. Little bit more. Little bit more. Good girl. Thank you. Oh, she is. Bye. Ooh. She wasn't expecting that man to talk. Now we have race mode. Woo. So she went from being really tired to race mode. A little spook, but nothing too much. We'll let her work through that adrenaline. Just by moving is best. If I'd not wanted to trot, I would have pulled her in a little circle, but she's doing okay. Good girl. Well done. Good girl. Oh, we'll have lots of blowouts now. Well, I'm sure that burnt a few calories for both of us. Turbo mode activated. Still a nice forward walk here. So you can see as we're heading home, she definitely gets less of those barriers for stopping, less snappy. But she's done this route and she knows she's heading home, so she feels there's a bit less to be concerned about because she knows where she's going. You might be able to spot from there we have trimmed the mane and the batch is now gone, but there's still a little bit of a dip down at the side there. Is there, you can see the tail and the bottom of the wings, but growing it in at the moment. I've not taken it down all the way like I thought I was going to, because if it does grow enough we may try something for Christmas, but I'll have to see if it grows that much. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see another mane trim with some more shapes in. I'm thinking when we go around this bend we might trot towards the cake stand a little bit for a little bit extra trot. we'll see. Fortunately, not too many vehicles out today, because when we're walking it's quite difficult to get out of the way, and some people are pushy and try and go past you on the narrow bits, which is not helpful. Okay, let's see. I actually don't think the Kate stands that far away. If it was a little further we can make that, so let's ask her again. All I do is squeeze a little bit and give a little click. There we are. She doesn't take much to get into trot. I may make her look quite lazy, and I seem to be able to make all my horses look lazy, but JJ is actually naturally an extrovert, so a very forward moving horse. So when she can express that properly, she does. But I seem to be able to train every horse to be quite lazy. Good girl. And this time I might try and bring her back to walk instead of her asking for walk. So here we go. Good girl. So hardly any pressure on the reins, just more with me sitting myself down and creating a sigh sound. Good girl. So it's nice to see that she's still listening to me really well whilst we're riding out. Good girl. It's quite funny really, because Comanche, when he's out riding, sometimes can also be a bit like, he'll go so far and then when he gets tired he's like, can we turn around and go back now? And that can be quite fun on a circuit ride, because he doesn't understand that we're going in a circle to get back to where we were before. So we can be quite near the end and maybe just 5 minutes from where the car was parked with a trailer, and he'll feel really tired and he'll be like, oh, I need to turn around and go back home again. And I'm like, Comanche, we'll just go this way for 5 more minutes. But he gets quite insistent, and I swear he'd go back the other way much happier than he would when he's travelling that last 5 minutes back to the car. I mean, he's always relieved to see the car when we get there, but it's quite funny that you can't tell him it's just around the corner. Comanche, keep going, you're nearly there. At least if I wanted an extra long ride one day, all I've got to do is do a circuit, then turn him around when we're nearly there and take him back the other way again, and I'm sure he'd do it. We're not too far from home now. Didn't have a lot of trot, but I think it was probably enough for our first time back out again. And we did have turbo mode activated, so I'm sure that was good. Can hear the traffic on the main road again now, quite a bit busier. So I'm not going to trot it anymore to the end, because one, it's good to let her cool down a bit, but also when I get to the road there, I want her to listen to me to be able to stop so that I can check for traffic, because it's actually quite a fast road, that. And I don't want her swinging out into the road just thinking she can keep walking forward and something come around the corner quite quickly and get her. And me, obviously, but obviously I don't want her harmed. I don't feel as tense as I did when we started the ride. I feel a bit more relaxed, and I think it actually helped that she went a bit faster after the van, because it kind of reassured me that I can stay with her, because I always get in my head that I'm going to fall off at the slightest little movement or the slightest little spook, and it's not always the case. I do manage to a point, stay quite with her, and actually the only time I've currently fell off JJ, touch wood, not going to happen again, was with the archery. And at the time I was standing at the saddle, not really looking at her at all, and had both hands on a bow and arrow kind of turned to the side, so I was really in a very bad position for her spooking when the rope touched her bum and she wondered what it was. So it's no wonder that I lost my balance completely at that point. Oh, I see a horse box, well, horse trailer. Hopefully someone going to something rather exciting today, or maybe they're coming from something rather exciting. I suppose they could have been to an early morning show. Traffic's getting up a little bit now. Oop. Right, there is a car coming. We shall walk a bit faster into the lay-by. I'm not willing to trot forward. I think they're going to try and go past us anyway. That's one of our neighbours. She did well then. Good girl, JJ. I wanted to slow down and think because there's cars coming. Good girl. I can hear one this way and at least one the other way, so we'll just wait a minute. I'm on the wrong side of the road a bit, so hopefully they don't just turn in here. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go. Oh, big lorry coming. Right, so we get to see how she is with a big lorry just before we get into home. We might just make it to home before then. He might even wait for us to get in there, which would be nice. I think he is waiting. Good girl. Okay. In here. Thank you so much. That's very nice of him. See what she's like as he goes by. Thank you. Very good girl. There we are. She's more worried about being home than worried about the lorry though. There we are. She's like, give me some food. Well, we've made it back and we're alive. Yay! Well, we're back. We survived. I'm just going to walk up and let her out now. We're in the wrong paddock. Come on. Or she might have a roll. Let's have a look. There she is. Rolling. Oh, the adrenaline coming out now. Maybe I should be rolling on the floor as well. Wasn't too bad the ride. You know, a little bit scary at parts for me, just from my own self. Here's Comanche. Hi, Comanche. Right, let's go put him out. You stop eating me. Look at the cheekiness. Here she comes, bringing up the rear. Still got some energy. Trot, trot, trot. Wait. Less. Getting very lively because they're going out now. Excited. I bet them run off. And off they go. See, she's still got energy. It's all lies. So thanks for joining me on the ride, and hopefully we'll have another ride soon. See you next time. Bye.